The Oak Island team is on a treasure hunt in the garden shaft, where they have found gold inside an old wooden ladder deep underground. The area is filled with clues, including trees, water, walls, roads, and wood that look like they came from the 1500s. A crack broke open at 90 feet, and what emerged was not dirt but golden water, golden trees, and a tunnel below. The crew was armed with fancy machines and years of frustration, but they were determined to find something substantial. They began with the water, which was liquid laced with tiny hints of gold. They called the new hotspot the Baby Blob, a patch of dirt no bigger than a tool shed, and it had the right numbers. The gold traces led them to the core samples, which pointed to the core. The team found a ladder hidden in a tunnel, and they decided to put it in their XRF because they had detected high gold values in the area. One day, the garden shaft became their playground or battleground. They dragged rigs into place, lowered steel into the earth, and waited for something to crack at 90 feet. A grinding howl came up from the dirt, and they hit a hole where no space should be. The crew froze, but they found 3 different boreholes all in a straight line east to west. The old shaft was not alone, as the crew found more wood in the same texture and color. They circled the sample like vultures around the discovery. A fresh discovery was made, and the team was looking at a clue carved by someone long dead back at the lab. The team dried out the wood and fired up the machine again, and Emma blinked at the readings. The team hit a wall of silence, and they set up a new drill to probing the walls like a dentist with a new patient. The water showed gold, and the team tested the inside of the shaft to see if it was buried in the same golden breath that hung over the Baby Blob. The team is drilling for gold on Oak Island, a small island in the Bahamas. They are searching for a hidden treasure that they believe has been hiding there for years. The drilling hits a void at 90 feet, and the space widens as the pressure drops. The team runs tests and tests, finding more gold every step. This is not just a hunt, but a confession of the island's hidden secrets. The team is focused on finding the buried message rather than just digging up trash. They drill deeper and wider, aiming for something that doesn't want to be found. The probe inside the garden shaft finds more space and air, and it pressed into the wall and returned with splinters. The team tags each one with a splinter, and another round of tests yields gold. As the sun sets, the team gathers samples of soil, wood, and dust, and the air in the tent is thick with tension. Emma scans the latest sample, and when things feel weird, the island emits louder signs of treasure all over the island. Rick Lagena, buzzing like a kid on a sugar high, bolts out of the tent with bags of dirt, chunks of timber, and determination. He must show the findings to Emma, the only person who can tell them if they have found gold or just another dusty piece of nonsense. Peter Romke, a man who chops trees for a living but also builds rock walls for fun, stands on Lot 26 staring down a messy pile of stones, believing it is a proper structure. The team is determined to find the treasure and uncover the truth about their past. The text describes a mysterious wall and well in a Scottish island, which was built with care to hide something or protect it. The wall was not just random, but rather a medieval-looking structure with tiny rocks at the base. The well was also unusually ancient, dating back to the 11th century. Experts had told them that people were building wells like this back in the 11th century, and it is believed that the same kind of well is present at New Ross, a spot some believe was a Templar hideout. The wall could have been built using rubble from tunnel digging, as hiding something underground would require masking the mess. Charles and Brandon were drilling in the money pit when they encountered an 11-foot rock that could be a door to the past. Emma Culligan, the gold detector, found a solid chunk in the middle of the shaft, suggesting that someone used gold-lined wood when building the shaft. This led to more tests, speculation, and theories about the depth of the treasure. The team was planning to dig deeper into the well, hoping the trail wouldn't go cold. They were also heating up their war room across the island, where Tom Nolan opened his dad's old notebook, which contained a hidden well. The well was intentionally hidden, buried, covered up, and Rick and Alex wasted no time digging on the lot. The story highlights the importance of careful planning and investigation in uncovering hidden treasures and mysteries. The story revolves around a team of people who are digging a hidden underground well in a swampy area. They discover a hidden well with a rosehead spike, an old-school artifact, and a hook, which they believe is part of a larger machine. The well starts to resemble the one on Lot 26, with the same structure and stacked stones. The island is not just dropping hints, but also shouting 2 wells at opposite ends of the island, with craftsmanship, secrecy, and buried intentions. The swamp looms nearby, reminding them that every dig comes with risk, including ecological and political ones. In the official nerve center, the interpretive center, Emma Culligan works her magic by scanning wood from the garden shaft, finding gold. The deeper they go, the more gold shows up, and the deeper they dig, the clearer it seems that someone was there before a tunnel, shaft, and road to the 1500s. Craig Tester, running the show picture, is with the Duma drilling team, currently at 68 feet down and going for 80. Their goal is to waterproof the levels while they get clean samples and try to hit a jackpot. They find gold in the wood, a tunnel, and gold traces from the treasure zone nearby. The garden shaft becomes the center of something, and Paul Coate from the drilling team has a system of 12 holes strategically placed around the shaft. The goal is not just to find treasure, but to prove the setup is part of a larger machine, and the only way to learn is to pull the ropes. Tom Nolan's father, Tom Nolan, believes something was going on Oak Island, a forgotten stretch of dirt. As they dig in Lot 13, they find strange burn sticks, weird clay, and charred bits that look like someone set up a barbecue centuries ago. They think this stuff is out of place and that someone brought it or hid something under it. The team finds the same design in Portugal, which is nearly identical, built with the same stone-laying technique known to have been used by the Portuguese during the 1400s and 1500s. This little coincidence, not so much anymore. Theories start stacking up: burned wood, odd-shaped formations, gold, traced stone roads, strange clay, all pointing to something buried not just in the ground, but in history. Rick thinks it's not just a structure, but a hand-built secret burial-type vault, covered in blue clay to keep water out and buried under boulders like a medieval safe. Dr. Ian Spooner steps in to test these theories, and when he pulls up clay fused to charred wood, it pauses. That's not natural. It's someone hiding something. The soil is too thick, rich, and tampered for this area. It's not just a spot, it's a scene, a piece of land manipulated to hide, protect, and seal something in. The team calls up researchers across Europe, particularly one from the Azores named Francisco Nguira. He has files, ideas, and deep knowledge about Portuguese maritime history, dropping a bombshell that rewrites maps the Order of Christ, aka the rebranded Portuguese. Knights Templar was active in the Azores, and possibly stashed valuables during the chaos of the 1500s. The next day, the team heads back to Lot 13 with fresh drills and dirty fingernails, pulling up more of that blue clay and charred wood. The big surprise is a stone wall so neatly and oddly built it looks intentional, dating sometime between 1464 and 1638. This type of wall would normally divide farmland, but farmland doesn't explain blue clay or burned wood. Rick thinks it's infrastructure, not fields, but features not for crops or protection. They pull out more maps, names, dates, and dates from the Inquisition, religious groups, wealth seizure, and anyone with a stash of gold. They're whispering the same thing. Something was buried here. It wasn't an accident, it was designed, and it might just be waiting. They're not done yet, but they've got more samples to analyze, more ground to dig, and more experts to call.